The ancient Maya didn't separate religion and daily life. What we'd call magic was woven into ritual, astronomy, medicine, and communication with unseen forces. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. The ancient Maya didn't protect themselves from energy. They made sure they were never in the wrong place, at the wrong time, in the wrong state. So in the next few minutes, you're going to understand why most people get protection completely wrong. Watch closely because this changes how you protect yourself from unseen forces. For the Maya, protection wasn't about fighting evil forces. It was about staying in harmony with cosmic cycles, honoring ancestors and deities, acting at the right time, keeping your energy clean and balanced. If you fell out of alignment, that is when chaos entered. Think of it like this. Using your imagination, you're in the ocean. A powerful wave is coming towards you. Without awareness, it overwhelms you, pulls you under, and throws you around. But with skill and timing, the same wave can carry you. The Maya worked with specific deities for protection, and we know with the Maya, they had a huge plethora of gods. So they had a god for just about everything. The Maya would invoke Itzamna for wisdom and cosmic order. They would invoke Kukulkan for transformation and divine knowledge. And obviously, one of the most important Maya deities, Chaac, not just for rain, but for life force and purification. The Maya used many offerings to cleanse the etheric body and space. So they used things like Copal. Copal is an incense, so it's a resin from a tree, and they call it palm. And they also used Palo Santo, holy wood, and sage, and many, many other herbs. So these herbs in themselves, when burned, obviously one breathes it in. So some of it goes and enters the bloodstream, and some of it enters the astral body and the etheric body. So that body that surrounds the physical body, which is the battery of the physical. And it's the etheric body that where magic attaches to. So when people are practicing dark magic, because they do, and here in South Africa there's a lot of dark magic going on, specifically what we call chaos magic. So what they do is they work in a very dark room. They seal the room with plastic bags, they dress in dark, they cover themselves with a hoodie. So they even conceal their faces so no one can try and find out who is doing this. But remember, we're going to come to that in a moment. When it comes to the deities, they know exactly who you are and where you are and how to neutralize that energy. And when it came to protection, what was really important to the Maya was the calendars, and specifically the Tzolk'in. So yeah, this is a 260-day calendar. So each of the days had a specific meaning. So even when a child was born, they were given specific names for protection. So that energy would last through their lifetime. The Maya made sure that they choose the right day for protection ceremonies, avoiding unstable or dangerous energies. In sacred ceremonies, when the Maya would attain a state of higher consciousness, or they would be in a trance, or they would use certain plants or certain chanting to attain a state of higher consciousness, they would have an animal spirit that would protect them. So in other words, the Jaguar, known as the balam, or an eagle, or the serpent. So the nagual was a spirit counterpart of the Maya. So they each would have these totems, these spirits that would protect them. And we know, as in my previous videos, I have mentioned it before, in a state of higher consciousness, you may only see the Jaguar, but behind the Jaguar is a deity. So in other words, the eagle, the serpent, the Jaguar are all avatars of these deities. And only once one reaches a state of cosmic consciousness will you see the truth of who's behind these totems. Protection here wasn't external, it was becoming stronger and more aware. So now if you can imagine you're in a higher state of consciousness and you've let go of your ego, and one of these deities, one of the gods, one of these masters, they become one with you, so you become that deity. You feel the energy, you feel the wisdom, and you feel their power. And this you can use to manipulate and ward off all dark energy, and actually send that energy or divert it back to where it's coming from, provided that you're getting it at that moment it's being sent. And then also bloodletting, or blood rituals, blood offerings, one of the most important rituals of the ancient Maya. So later in future videos I will go into these rituals separately so that we can understand them in their fullness. But this ritual was exceptionally important because offering blood, this life force, would open up the portals to the higher spirit reality, which would allow one to get that guidance and wisdom from spirit that would protect you. It also allowed your essence to enter the spirit world. Remember again the law, as above, so below. What's equal to the heavens is equal unto earth. So even the reverse, you're sacrificing this blood and it is being transmitted or transfused into the spirit world where it is received by the gods. So true psychic self-defense is really about shifting your frequency, your vibration. So doing any of these rituals would shift this frequency. And I remember in the spiritualist church many years ago, someone gave an example of this. So if you imagine you have a bicycle wheel with all the spokes and you spin that wheel just slowly, you can place your fingers into those spokes and it's going to stop. So this is really what happens on a lower frequency. Now you uplift your frequency to a higher vibration. So now imagine spinning this wheel exceptionally fast. So now you can't see the individual spokes, it looks all silver. Now try to stick your fingers into the spokes while it's spinning really fast. It's going to chop your fingers. And this is the same process that we're talking about when it comes to psychic self-defense. So the whole idea is you're going to shift your vibration in a certain way to shake off those negative energies. But really these simple techniques of purification, shifting your vibration, whether it's through meditation and pulling that light down, because this is really what people do today. You don't need to burn things, bloodlet. All you need to do is sit in meditation, draw that light in, connect to the deities that you work with, and bring that force of protection in, that it shifts your vibration while you're awake or while you're asleep. And remember the whole thing about psychic self-defense. You are protecting yourself even when you have forgotten to protect yourself. So the days that you are vulnerable, there is this protection that has already been placed over you that will protect you no matter where you are, awake or asleep. In the modern world, protection isn't defense, it's about alignment. And how do we align? So we align through meditation, through breathing exercises, which uplift and change our frequency. And this is really how it's done in the modern age. To visualize and bring down that light into your aura and create these force fields that will protect you when you're unable to protect yourself. For the Maya, protection wasn't about fighting evil forces. It was about staying in harmony with cosmic cycles, honoring your ancestors and deities, acting at the right time according to the calendars, and keeping your energy clean and balanced. Because if you fall out of alignment, that's when chaos enters. This video was just a short overview of psychic self-defense in the modern age and in ancient times. So maybe the question isn't how you defend yourself, but why you think you need to. I hope you enjoy videos like this, and as I said, we're going to go into much more detail in the future. Hit that like and subscribe button and I'll catch you in the matrix.